Today's going to be a fun one. It's I always get really excited about anything to do with branding and little tips and tricks that are really going to help your Amazon business stand out. So without further ado, I'll pass over to you, Kimberly, because there's a lot of content to get through today. I think it's going to be a good one.
It is. This is one of my favorite topics too. So I love the whole process of branding and creating my brand. And I'm a big DIYer. I like to do things myself. I'm a firm believer that yes, it's appropriate to outsource a lot of things, but I think it's also important to know how to do some of these things, at least in a rudimentary level yourself. That way you have that knowledge and experience when you're evaluating someone else's work for your business. So today we're talking about tips, tricks, and tools to help your brand stand out on Amazon.
Yeah.
So where is your brand? Where do you see your brand? Your brand is represented on Amazon. Your brand is going to be on your website. If you're in a brick and mortar place, you're going to see branded information and details there. You're going to have a brand presence potentially on Facebook. I highly recommend it, if you don't, to start a Facebook page. You could be part of a group or start your own group around whatever topic it is. If it's, if you're doing a sporting goods brand, I've used the example of golf recently. Start a golf group and get people into it and start, looking at those interests that appeal to your avatar. But then a branded page as well. Very, very important to have, so you can communicate information about your brand and also good content to your audience. And then, of course, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest is one that I think a lot of people miss. And Pinterest is really a very great tool for people to create an additional brand presence. And you can actually advertise on Pinterest as well. So that's really exciting. But then just at a really basic level, your packaging and your product inserts, so your brand needs to weave through all of these seamlessly and needs to be cohesive and make sense. And just always remember, this phrase actually got me up at like 3 o'clock in the morning one night. The confused mind says no. So you want to make sure that everything that you're putting out through all of these different places is cohesive, and that it makes sense for your brand and would make sense to your avatar, which is why we talked about avatars earlier this month.
Yeah, that's so true. I know I've gone to buy something, and then it can be right at that final point where you're putting in your credit card or you're about to scan it and you're like, something doesn't feel right. And it can be as small as like one line of copy, or maybe something about their terms and conditions just didn't sit right. So yeah, definitely important there.
Okay, so it looks like we're having a technical difficulty. People cannot see the presentation. Okay, excellent. So everyone can see the presentation. Great. Okay, awesome. All right, so so these are the areas that you're going to want to make sure that these are the potential areas where your brand is going to be present, like we've talked about. So branding examples. So Nike, huge brand. And these are just some examples of branding that they put out that's not necessarily, just their image. They're putting it in action.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some brands that I hear and I immediately have an emotional reaction to, and this is going to sound weird, but Nike's one of them. I think of that. You can see in the picture that they've got here where she's kind of doing this. It's emotional. They've pushed themselves to the limits. They've achieved something great. They're going outside the boundaries. I mean, that's weird considering that to me they're a shoe company and they're making me feel emotion. That's a really great sign of solid branding. And there's other companies that will make you feel that way without even realizing it. So, Apple's a really big one. Aside from all the big, just if you have a look around your daily life, you'll notice that a great brand will start to create emotional responses with you.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, and in the two images on the social media post, I mean, you don't really even have the product shown. I mean, you see the logo on their shirt, but it's really more just communicating that emotional response. Exactly that, so whatever your brand is trying to communicate, whatever it is that you're trying to get to your avatar. You know, if you're looking at, you know, the golf example, it's such a good example. You know, you tailor it down to whatever it is. If you're, you know, a guy going out on the golf course, but you want to, you know, impress your friends with your gear, you know, so there's going to be an attitude or a feeling or an emotion around the marketing images and the branding images that you put into your marketing efforts. So
Yeah.
I hope that's making sense to everybody.
Yeah, totally. And it can feel overwhelming to try and create that brand when you've got, you know, you're starting from scratch, but it's just getting really clear about who you're selling to, who your customer avatar is. And, you know, your customer isn't everybody. You're not selling to everybody. You, especially if you're on the States, are selling in a niche category. You have a very specific customer type, understanding where they hang out, how they talk, what colors they like. Every little detail of their lives will help you really hone in on this branding.
Yeah. And like I mentioned when we went through the avatar worksheet, the training a couple weeks ago, you know, think about, you know, write down a day in the life of your avatar. You know, my avatar is Amy Green, so you know, I know what Amy Green does when she, you know, from the time she gets out of bed in the morning to the time she goes to bed at night. You know, so I know what her day looks like. So
yeah, awesome.
that's really important, and I know what's going to appeal to her then as far as images.
Yeah, for sure. So this first hot tip that we're sharing, this is something I've personally used and I swear by it, absolutely swear by it. So social media, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It takes, you know, if you're starting from 0 followers, you're trying to build that presence, attract the right people, it can take a lot of time and effort. But you don't need to start from scratch. Everything has its price, and you can buy a pre-done social media page. So for example, if Instagram's your platform of choice, you can buy an Instagram page with real followers already following your specific niche. So I would highly recommend before you do purchase that you do audit the followers to make sure they're real, that they're not bots, and that they match your customer avatar. So looping back what we were just speaking about a moment ago, if I'm selling a dog bed, I don't want my followers to be, you know, I don't know, hunters or something, interested in different categories. We need to make sure they match. And you can very easily, for just a few dollars, audit that list. Within a couple of hours, you'll know exactly the demographics, what country they're from, the gender, if they're real, so you can buy it with confidence, and they're not expensive. I might just quickly screen share and show you one page that I am looking at. I haven't used Social Trader before. I've used a different company. There are so many to choose from. Definitely do your own due diligence with that. But for example, I've just typed in the category pets and animals here. I can type in whatever I want. So maybe I was in fitness, or maybe I've got something, you know, they've even got tattoos, tech and science, any category that you can think of. And I can even specify how many followers that I want to see. So for example, there's one here for cats, 5,000 followers. They're asking $140. These prices are usually negotiable. You can see there's all sorts that it keeps loading. Cats and dogs are probably the most popular on here, but you can see there's one for birds as well. Maybe you're selling a bird feeder. You can buy these accounts. And the reason why it's so helpful to buy them is that you buy the accounts, you take that over, you continue the engagement with the avatar, and then when your product launches, you start feeding in images of your product. You have built up that trust. They like your page, they like what you're putting out, and suddenly you're putting in a product that is relevant to them, that is something that is that they're really interested in. They're more than likely going to click through. Presentation isn't working again. Let me stop screen share and try again.
Looks like we had some issues with the.
All right, let me know if that's come up. You should see a Social Trader web page with different, I'll give that a second to see if it's working now.
Webinar Jam definitely wants to go on holiday.
I think so.
Oh, good. It's
all right.
working. Cool.
I think what we might do is every time we screen share, we'll do it twice, because it seems like on the second time around, it wants to work. So you can see here, I've been able to filter. That's what I was talking about before. And these are all, there's so many more, but the accounts that I can click into, see if they're for me. But yeah, the benefit of having that pre-done account is that you have thousands of followers that are interested in what you're selling already. And if it's done properly, they will feed through into your Amazon listing once you're live and ready to go. It's also a really great reference point to talk to your ideal customer avatars. You've got an audience there that's interested in what you're selling. Ask them what size, what color, what do you think about this? It's a great communication channel. So I did this for my last launch, and when I was looking at the stats, it definitely, especially in that launch phase, like I said, you've got that pre-built audience that you've been working with. That fed hundreds and hundreds of sales through to my listing. Really helped me bump up the rankings in that first couple of weeks and get my listing up there on page 1. So check it out. For the price of $100, $200, it is going to be one of the best investments that you'll make. And of course, and we went through this last week, some of the tools that Amazon has available, the brand referral bonus, you can even get a kickback from Amazon for all this traffic you're sending there, because Amazon loves outside traffic. So it works on so many different levels. So that is my hot tip. Don't share it too much because I don't want the whole world knowing, but this is what I use, and it really helps with my launch. And it just gives you instant credibility as well when someone's looking at your brand. I know I do that. If I'm thinking of buying something, I'll Google it, I'll have a look on Instagram, I'll check out what people are saying, how many followers they've got. So yeah, definitely worthwhile looking into.
Yeah, that is super cool. I definitely need to look into that, because my own Instagram following is kind of weak. So
and yeah, and sometimes people have said to me, oh, no one's interested in what I'm selling in terms of social media. They are. It doesn't matter how niche it is, how random, there's something out there for everybody. You know, I follow all sorts of weird and wonderful accounts. You'll find that one that matches your brand. You'll have that audience pre-built for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to try my screen share. We'll see if it's working, or if I need to do it twice. So
isn't there a Christmas time about that? Checking the list, doing it twice,
yeah.
checking our screen share, doing it twice.
I feel like Santa's elves.
Yeah. So let us know if you can share, if you can see the presentation now.
Yeah, and there I have looked. There are lots of sites that sell, and they'll vary. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay, some of them you have to. They won't share as much information about the profile, but until you buy. But yeah, it's there's lots of different options out there, so definitely worth looking into, because there's lots of places to do it. All right, so again with social media. Oops, let me move.
I'll move that. Yeah.
Okay. So influencers. So even if you don't have your own Facebook page or your own Instagram that you've really bumped up, there are still influencers that you can engage in. So just following along with Nike, this is an influencer. She's got over 51,000 followers. And you can see that, she's a digital creator. So she's an influencer. So she's doing this for a living. And she does content creation, makeup artist, nails, kicks and fits, and she's in New Jersey, New York. So you can see she's using the products, but she's taking it into more, not necessarily maybe a fitness realm, but more into a fashion realm. So it depends on what your motivation is. So you want to make sure that you're finding the right influencer, and that your avatar is in their audience, and that your brand makes sense with theirs. So, yeah, sure. This is a different aspect of Nike, but it can, Nike is a huge brand. So, but a following of 51,000, there may, yes, she's going to do content creation, but there may be a price involved that you don't want to pay. It may, you may be able to do just product for post or for content. So you might consider nano followers, and nano followers will typically have a higher engagement with their followers than someone like this. So you always want to look at the influencer, not only their posts, their message, but their following. Is it engaged? Are they liking? Are they commenting? You know, is there engagement going on their posts? And then you want to make sure that if you do decide to engage with an influencer, that you have the right details. Put this in writing. You need to be absolutely clear. You know, make sure that it's spelled out, you know, what they're going to get and what they're going to provide. And you can even get so specific as that, you know, once they, you know, make the content creation, that you can have ownership of it, so you can share it in your other channels and your other marketing, but that if they post something, that they're not going to post on top of it for a specified amount of time, so it stays front and center on their feed. So lots of little different details that you want to make sure that you get really clear, so everything is laid out from the beginning and you have a good experience with it.
Yeah, for sure. Fred's just asked on the Social Trader if they're Australian or worldwide Instagram accounts. Social Trader is not just the only one. There are so many, and they can be from anywhere in the world, but that's why it's important to get the account audited. Only costs a few dollars, and it will tell you where that audience is based. So if you are launching an Australian product, you obviously want Australian followers. So you would audit the account and it would tell you, you know, 90% of the followers are from Australia. You'd have that breakdown. So that's how you would definitely make sure that it's in the right area.
And those are services that the different sites offer when you're going to look at buying an account?
Yeah, some have them built in. Otherwise, you can go to a third party and they'll do it just as good, if not better. So if you just Google Instagram auditing services or something like that, you'll find, again, hundreds just waiting to help.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great
really.
tip. All right. So where do you find your influencers?
Yeah, this surprised me. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is make sure that, like I mentioned before, you've got your Amazon brand referral link set up. And the best way is also to see who your customers are following and go direct. You know, just send them a message. Hey, I love what you're doing. I think you'd be a great fit. Get that spiel done, that framework, and then you can just send it out as you need to. But if you're really, really lost, not sure where to start, or you feel like it's overwhelming, there are websites. There's one called, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, Collabstar and QuickPlace, where you can, just like the Instagram accounts I showed you before, put in your category, put in what followers, location, what's important to you, and it will show you people that fit that profile. And it's a bit small here, but for a couple of $100, you can be potentially, and this is especially true on TikTok, reaching a phenomenal amount of people, hundreds of thousands of people. That platform in particular, TikTok, is just exploding. There's actually something that I follow on there that I think is really cool, and it's Amazon Made Me Buy It. And it's people just walking around their house showing you things that they've brought on Amazon. And these videos, if you get a minute, check them out, have millions of followers. They're out of control. So to get your product featured on there and then, you know, reach that audience, again, you need to make sure that it's aligned with your brand, who is promoting that for you. But that is a really quick way to get seen by a lot of people. And if you've got a product that is unique, differentiated, solving a pain point, that's going to convert. It's going to go to, so definitely write down some of these names if you've got a pen and paper there, and check them out if you think it's a good match for what your brand is or what you're thinking about.
Yeah, and there's lots of different sites like this where you can find influencers. But I haven't heard of this one, so I'm excited to go check this one out. So yeah, definitely cool. There we go. Okay, got it.
So another hot tip, and this probably will be, we would have heard Canva. Let me know if you've heard of Canva, if you've used it, what you think about it. It is just a godsend to any Amazon seller. So I'm going to show you, let me jump into my screen share. how you can get Canva working for you. So let me know if you can see my screen share. You should see a very muscly man and woman swinging an axe, if you can see that. Because what I've done here is I've just picked a product off Amazon, and I'm going to quickly show you some of the really cool things that you can do with it. So Canva, yeah, right. I knew you'd be onto it, Veronica. So let me know if you can see. All right.
No, okay. Share twice.
Oh, I think Webinar Jam's off my Christmas card list.
Definitely. Yep.
All right, let me see if you can see it now. Big red axe, muscly man swinging it, muscly woman swinging it the other way. Fingers crossed. Not yet. Yay! Thank you, Tracy. Made my day. So this product, I just randomly picked it. The color actually caught my attention. It really stood out, which is another thing to think of when you're making your products. Make sure it jumps off the page. This here is a, what do they call it? A chop fit functional trainer system. It's basically a big heavy axe that you swing around to get fit. I hadn't heard of anything like this before. If anyone wants a guess at how much this product is selling per month, drop it into the chat. It is new, I should say. It's only got 130 ratings. It's only been available for a couple of months, so very, very new. Yeah, I'd love to know if anyone guesses what it is.
I'm curious to find out.
Yeah, don't open the Chrome extension and cheat. Just drop a little amount in there if you can have a guess. But what I've done is I've just screenshotted this product, and they've got some great A+ content down here. So I've just screenshotted some of these images as if this was my product and all I had was the main image, and I wanted to create some branding around it, and how I would do that if I was on a bit of a budget. So if I open up Canva, this is what Canva looks like when you first open it up. And it's basically asking me, what am I going to design today? So maybe the first thing that I'm going to design would be a logo for my brand. And if I can use this program, anybody can. I am not, you were spot on.
Am I?
Did you cheat? Did you open up?
No, I did not.
Yeah, 15,000 for the standard one, and it was another 9,000 on their pro one. So
wow.
Yeah, it shows your product research muscles are perfectly attuned to the market. So my Canva search, I've put in fitness logo, it's a fitness product, and it's come up with all these suggestions. And already a lot of these are catching my eye. They look very, very cool. I like the black and gold bronzy one here. I'm just thinking my product's that red kind of color. Actually, I don't mind this one. All I do is click on it, and then I've got the ability to customize it to my heart's content. So the colors are pretty similar to what's already in my product. I'll just let this load. Obviously, the name needs to be changed, but I kind of like this little arrow up too, because when I was looking at this product, I think their tagline was, if I look down here, next level fitness. So to me, that, raising up to the next level, I can just double click on here and change it. So chop fit, and then maybe I go next level fitness is my tagline. Already within 2 seconds, I've got a pretty nice looking baseline to run from. Obviously, I can change this so much, add colors, graphics. You've got the option in here to add so many elements. Maybe I wanted to add an axe or something that I can really make it a little bit more aligned to my product. Let me just wait for these to load. But the point is how easy and quick you can customize things here. So this axe here looks pretty cool. I could put that in. I can change the color. I can do whatever I want. Something I do want to point out that a lot of people don't realize with Canva is that it has pre-built Amazon templates. So So I've just typed in Amazon and it's come up with Amazon product descriptions and Amazon product images. So let's check out what it's got for the images. So already, these are all the templates. These look like brilliant. You'd have your hero image, maybe some lifestyle images, and then you have your infographics. These are great templates for infographics.
Those are so good.
Yeah, and it's not just what you'll see when this opens up. There are so many different pages in here. I've just picked this.
That's one thing I love when you pick one template, that a lot of times they're going to have multiple pages and you can play around with that. And one thing too, with that logo that you were doing, this is a tip that I had from someone, when you're using Canva, if you see, like, especially if you want to really customize it, like you see one logo that you like, maybe it's not the right color, maybe it's not the right font, but you see another font that you like, and then you see another color that you like. You can customize all of that. You can change the fonts in any one that you pick, and you can change the colors, and you can actually put in custom colors that align directly with your brand. So I've actually uploaded the fonts that I use in my brand, and I have the hex codes for my colors. So I make sure that every single thing that I create exactly matches my brand.
Absolutely. Yes. Such a good tip there. You can create your, let me see if I can find it under, is it more, might be back on my product images page. You can actually create your own branding guideline to your brand book through Canva, which can be really helpful. Like if you are working with influence, brand kit, you can create your own in here, which shows you the fonts that you're using, the color scheme, so that even if you're working with an influencer or somebody's helping you with your social media or whatever it is, you can give them that document and they know exactly what colors you want things to be, what fonts to use, what sizes, what the tone, the look and feel should be like. But for this one here, obviously, I want to sell an axe, not a dumbbell. So it's just a matter of removing that. And then I can upload my image. Let's see, that's the one I had before. Obviously, that doesn't look right because that's on a white background. This is on a gray. It's got so many cool little tools that you can edit images with here. So I'm going to remove the background on this. I'm going to get rid of the white so that it's just a perfectly cut out image. And this can be really helpful if you are on a shoestring budget and wanting to do your hero shots. If you've got Canva Pro, suddenly you can do pretty good, crisp, clear images that you can pop on a plain white background. See, it's immediately removed that. It looks pretty good to me. I could zoom in and retouch it if I wanted to. I can change the angle of it. Maybe I want it on a lean. It's got some graphics here. I could change those up. This might be a great place to pop that logo once I was finished with it. And of course, there is so many other bits and pieces I can add in. So same sort of thing. Maybe that's where I put this one here. Within a couple of minutes, I can have some really cool images and graphics and things showing, and even lifestyle images. So I think this is quite cool. Maybe I was doing a yoga mat, and I want some real photos. I can flick to photos. And there is so many resources in here. It's crazy.
Canva Pro is probably one of, outside of ZonGuru, one of the best investments you're going to make in your business, because it will pay for itself over and over again.
Yeah. And you can see how quickly I just dragged and dropped it in. It's brilliant.
That looks so good.
It does, actually. I'm not sure about the orange and the blue, but and there's even videos as well. If you want to, for social media or something, you can do these posts and have videos running. So let's see what this one looks like. I mean,
yeah, and
imagine having that on your socials.
Well, and beyond your socials, you can use Canva to create short, maybe 20, 30-second videos with your product and other videos layered through, and put that on your listing.
Yeah, absolutely. You can lose days just and fun playing around with Canva, and like you'll be showing your friends and family, look what I made, and they'll be like, oh, I've seen it, it's enough. But if you're an Amazon researcher or seller, you'll get it, because this is so clever and so helpful to really boost your brand and your business. So if you don't,
I don't think the webinar, like the video part of the screen share, is frozen.
I'm going to take my screen share off then before it completely crashes. But what the point we're trying to make here is that there is a free version of Canva. There's no cost whatsoever. It still unlocks a huge amount of resources. The pro version, it's really cheap. I think I pay $18 or $19 per month, and I get my value from it. So definitely. And I only ran through one of the Amazon templates there. So definitely log on to Canva, type in Amazon, and just go down that rabbit hole. It will definitely be worth it.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Veronica. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it had a lot of preloaded templates in Canva. I had no idea it had Amazon options. So that just blew my world. I mean, literally, because infographics, I love infographics. I think they're super, super important in your listing and your A+ content. I'm a huge believer of the less text, the better, because let's face it, we're impatient as a society. We don't want to read everything. We want to see it. And, you know, if I can read it in 5 seconds or 2 seconds, great. And that's what infographics do. They communicate so fast. So yeah, if you don't have infographics on your listing, you need to look at them. And Canva's such a great way to do that now. I'm mind blown.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. I had a product and I had it in the title, in the bullets, and in the description, the size. It was everywhere. I was constantly getting questions what size it is. I put it in an infographic with a ruler, was never asked again. If people don't read, they look with their eyes. So
yeah.
Get those infographics happening.
All right, so I'll go back to the presentation. Let's see if we can make this work. Creating digital brand assets yourself. So there are a lot of resources outside of Canva, which does have a huge library of stock images that you can use. There's a lot of other places. I am a huge believer in using stock images, especially for lifestyle. And you can use not only stock images, but stock video. So this is an example of Shutterstock. Now, Shutterstock, you can either pay for each asset that you buy, or you can get a plan and have an allotment of so many downloads per month. So, you know, you can look here, you can see you can get photos, vectors, which are for use like in Adobe Illustrator, illustrations. You can customize, do you want it horizontal or vertical? You can look at the color palette within it, and just, so many different things that you can get. So I just put in athletic shoes, and, you know, look at the images that have come up. There's really, you know, a lot of different things that you could pop into your social media or your marketing.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Another one that I absolutely love. I love this one so much because it's not very expensive. I think it's $39 US, so it's maybe about 50 some odd dollars per month, but it's unlimited downloads. And it has stock video, it has stock images, so it's Envato Elements. Envato has several different parts, but if you go to Elements, that's what I use. And you can see here, it also has templates. I've used one of the video templates for the video on my listing, and I just plugged in still images of my my photo of my product, along with the lifestyle images that I was able to download, and short video clips. And it just, I think it turned, you know, for doing it myself, turned out pretty good. So my video ad does, you know, convert fairly well. So yeah, this is another resource that you could use.
Written that one down.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah, here's the list. So, you know, Canva, definitely. Envato Elements, Shutterstock. Pexels is another one. It's free, which is really, really good. And Unsplash, another one that I believe is also free. So lots and lots of resources out there. You know, you don't want to go to Google Images, because when you go to these sites, then you can make sure that you're downloading it properly and that you're doing it with the right license, so you have the right to use it, and you're not going to be creating any kind of copyright violations.
No, definitely don't want that.
No. All right. So if you don't want to do it yourself, do not be afraid. There are people out there that will help you and but for a while before I realized how powerful Canva was, I was struggling trying to do a few things with Adobe Illustrator. And, it literally took you like 2 seconds to remove the background from that. I think I spent an hour trying to get a background off of one of my images. And then when I realized that Canva would do it, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So there are a lot of great sites, like 99 Designs, really world-class people on that site doing some amazing work. Fiverr, you can also find some good people on Fiverr as well. And Freelancer, I've actually used Freelancer in the past, and that worked pretty well as also. And I like 99 Designs and Freelancer because you can do contests and you can open up your brief, and you want to be really specific in your brief on what you're after. But you can open it up and get lots of people contributing to your contest and giving you examples, and you can, respond to them and rank it, and then say, I don't like this one, but this is what I don't like about it. Or I like this one a little bit. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And they'll revise it and come back with more. So it's really, I think it was 99 Designs that I used for my package design. And it, I had a lot of really interesting things thrown at me and ended up with one, and they really tweaked it and got it looking just really great. So I was really pleased with it. But also Upwork, you can find people to do just about anything on Upwork and Fiverr.
Yeah.
So they're not just design.
No, I've found sourcing agents through there. I've had discussions with IP lawyers through Upwork, especially. It's not just the creative side of things. It's any consultant that you need, they're on that platform, ready to go.
And this is a little bit off topic, but again, this is, I think, a really valuable thing that everyone needs to think about. There's also there's people on Upwork that are like customs consultants. So you make sure that you get the HS information correct, so you know what your tariffs are going to be before you order your product, because you don't want to have a product that has a profit margin that gets blown out of the water because you end up with a 9% tariff and a 25% tariff on top of it if you're sourcing from China, which can be the case. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're looking at that before you place your orders. And Upwork is a great place to find someone who can do that for you. And it's like, I think $150 for them to do the check.
Yeah, it's not much in the scheme of things. I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this next one, because you do have to kiss a few frogs to get the right one.
Yeah.
But I've put a page in here dedicated to Fiverr. I think it's on the next slide, because I just wanted to pull out some of the great ones I found. I found with Fiverr, a referral from another seller is always the best way to go. Like I said, it's a bit hit and miss. When you kiss a few frogs and you find that prince, it's amazing, and you'll keep going back to them and you'll keep using that service for whatever it is. So I've just pulled out a few. I haven't necessarily worked with all of these ones, but just an example of the pricing. That's more what I wanted to showcase here. So the first one, they're doing product photography for your Amazon storefront at 100 US. And they will show you, and there's quite a number of images you can scroll through when you're on the page, their past work, and it will actually come up with a little box saying Fiverr verified, which means that work was done through the Fiverr platform. They can verify that it was done by that particular seller. So that image there, it's beautiful. It caught my eye. I would definitely pay $100 for photos like that. And it's not $100 for one photo, it's a package. So they might say, we'll make, they'll break it down for you. There's different levels and things like that. The next one along, Amazon product packaging, starting at $90 US. You can see this seller here has been around for a while. Just like Amazon, they're star rated. They have a 4.9% star rating. 161 people have used this service, and that's what it's been rated. They're a top rated seller. just like anything, you have to do your due diligence, have a look at some of the work that they've done, ask them questions, and you can often, before you engage with them, get them to do a little test project, or maybe you break your project down into different segments. So if you're starting from scratch and you needed photos, videos, packaging, product inserts, a logo, and all the rest of it, maybe start with the logo, see how they go before you give them absolutely everything. So definitely break it down, test it out. And the third one there, that's your A+ content. So there are all those great images that sit below the fold on Amazon if you're brand registered. Great opportunity to get more eyes on your listing. They're offering that for $150. Again, this one's rated 5 stars. They've had 372 reviews. From my perspective, 372 people have used them and rated 5 stars. I've got confidence that the work they're delivering is pretty good. They're going to have a big catalog that I can have a look through before going ahead. So price point wise, you can get an idea of what you're looking at. And of course, it ranges. There's the real lows and highs, but that should give you some information on what you're looking at on Fiverr.
Yeah, and definitely test out with a small project first. Get them to do, like, I've used the example before, if you're getting someone to Photoshop your product into a lifestyle image, get them to do one and see how it works, because they may have some challenges there. They may not be as good as maybe they've done other really great things, and they say they can do this, but you want to really see how they do it with yours.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so contests. You can hire someone directly, or you can do a contest. And this is from 99 Designs. So yeah, you can, like I said, the contests are really cool. If you have had a contest with them before, you can set a contest to be private, so other designers don't see what the other designers are doing. And that is really beneficial. The designers are more likely to give you more to look at and faster, because a lot of times they don't want to, the best designers don't want to put their designs out there right away, because other people are going to see it and start copying it. And so if it's public and everyone can see it, so if it's private and no one else can see it but you, then that gives them a little bit more confidence to show you their best work.
Yeah, I recently did a contest on 99 Designs, and they had put in all these new, options. And one as well was that you are committed to going ahead with the project. You're agreeing that you're going to choose one and go ahead with it, because the other part of it too is people run competitions, but then they don't go ahead with any of them. So the designers aren't wanting to put in the effort and the time to really create their best work. So yeah. I selected, yes, I'm committed to this project. I'm going to go ahead with one of these designs. And the quality that I got through was so much higher. So, go all in. So you're going to create this project. We're going to do it. Tick that box.
Yeah, definitely. So what kind of digital assets can you get from some of these? We've talked about these a little bit, but packaging and product inserts, those are probably, some of the areas where doing it yourself is going to be really, really challenging. And these are just some examples of some of the product. We're looking at packaging that is out there on 99 Designs. And like I said, you can click on any of these profiles and then you can see their work. And, if you want to invite them to your contest, you can click the little invite button and make sure that they're aware of the contest that you're running and that you want to see if they would be willing to participate in it. So I think this one is really cute. I can't really tell what they're selling, but that one just jumps off. I was like, that is so cute.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, you can see their star ratings and the number of reviews. So it gives you some confidence, that these people have done, and you can also sort it by level. You can select top level and only see that when you're running your search. Okay, product inserts. So, this is an area that I struggle with my own brand. I've done it myself. I did it on Canva. I probably should have just hired someone for the amount of time it took me to do it. But these look so good. And you think about it, when you're you've spent the time and the invested the capital to create a beautiful product. You've created beautiful packaging. You want to have, a nice product insert that comes out that you can tell that there's some love and attention. I've gotten things from Amazon that, it comes in a plastic bag, has a sticker on it, and that's it. I'm just like, wow, they're not even trying.
Yeah, especially in Australia, I'm noticing that there's a lot of room for sellers really wanting to do the job properly here, I think.
Yes. And it's a great way to communicate some really good information about your product, some tips, and then you can put your social media information. You can you can see this one has a QR code in the corner, so that could be leading them into a customer service flow, or collecting an email address. Those are technically against Amazon terms of service, so you have to make the decision if that's something you want to do or not. But those options are there for you, because that goes beyond what you can send in an email to your customers.
Yeah, for sure. Nice.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So like I said at the start, we always leave time for Q&A, and it doesn't need to be about what we spoke about today. It can be anything about Amazon. I know we haven't gone through the ZonGuru tools very much today, so if you're new to the platform, or there's a tool or just something that you're struggling with in your journey, we would love to help if we can. And I'm sure everybody else in the room, there's no such thing as a silly question. I'm sure there's someone else in the room that would learn from it as well. So here's your chance. Just obviously the holiday break is coming up as well, so we won't be running live training for the next 2 weeks. We'll be back on Thursday the 6th. Let me just check that time.
I think that is the 6th.
Yeah, if I got my dates right. And it's January is all about product research, how to find that great product, starting 2022 off on the right foot. So we really hope to see everybody on that one. But yeah, definitely, if you've got any questions, feel free to send them through. I'm happy to help wherever we can. I love your Christmas earrings today too, Kimberly. I noticed you got those on before.
Yeah, my jingle bells. So
yay. Yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close.
It is, yeah. It's like, what, next weekend, isn't it?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all. It's crazy.
Oh, it's going to be so funny when my husband comes home tonight. Because he's like, don't buy me anything. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay. And I've got this huge, he doesn't watch the training, so I can say what it is. I bought him a new office chair because his office chair is just rubbish. And it's this hugacious box under the Christmas tree. And he's going to look at it and he's just going to lose it.
And what have you brought me? Oh, that's funny. Oh, thank you, Tracy. It's really nice to hear. We try and be as helpful as we can. So if there is a topic that you want to hear more about as well, just let us know. It sounds like we've got a really, not too many questions. So Anne's just asked if there's written information for using ZonGuru. Okay. So if you're after that written format, I would suggest checking out our FAQ articles. So on the platform itself, in the top right-hand corner, there's a need help button, and it's available on every tool we have. And it's going to take you through to all the written FAQ articles about all our tools. There are a lot of videos in there as well, which might not help if you don't have good connectivity, but there is certainly written content that will help you through. But yeah, if you do get stuck in any way, you can always, when you do have Wi-Fi, email us, and happy to write that out for you too. Cornelia's just starting out opening the search on Amazon. It's so exciting. Just think of where you could be this time next year. So exciting.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't have ideas, hit Niche Finder. Start there. And if you have ideas, then go straight to Amazon with the Chrome extension.
Yeah, absolutely. We were looking at some great niches last night, actually, on Niche Finder. It's always fun because they're things that I've never even heard of before. And these products, people are searching for, 10, 20,000 times a month. So
Oh, some of them I looked at, I'm just like, didn't we have one that was 53,000 monthly searches?
Yes. Yeah.
I was
Absolutely.
like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never would have thought, like,
Yeah.
okay, sure, why not?
Yeah. That's it. So get into Niche Finder, set your filters, make sure you're, looking for exactly what you want. And ZonGuru does the heavy lifting, and we'll just give you a list that ticks off all those boxes. So yeah,
yes, and I could spend so much time going through that. So many great ideas.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, it sounds very quiet today.
Oh, got a couple questions. There we go. Hang on. Okay, so don't worry about it going fast, Cornelius, because you will get an email with a replay. So you can watch the session again if you needed to. But if you have any specific questions, pop them in the chat, and we're happy to revisit something that maybe went a little bit too fast.
Yeah, we've also got our training replay hub. So all these live trainings, they're saved. They're on a YouTube playlist just for ZonGuru subscribers. So no matter what topic you're looking for, you can jump in there, have a little search, and I can pretty much guarantee there's going to be a video. And you can, watch it at your own pace, pause it, rewind, follow along, do the tool itself as well. And there is a lot of information when you're first starting out. I'm not going to deny that, but it does start to click into place if you follow the strategy, if you follow the guidelines. And I'll drop the replay link in here. Give me a second while I bring that up.
Thanks, Michael. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Branding is probably one of my favorite things. I just really love the whole idea of it, that I'm not just grabbing a product and throwing it at Amazon. I'm creating something that is taking on a life of its own. And one day I will, like when my children left the nest, one day my brand will leave the nest and will be sold, and life will be grand.
It's interesting, everybody's journey and what their end goal is. It's and what they plan to do when they do create that amazing business they exit from. It's so beautiful to hear. Okay.
So Cornelius, your question, so it depends on what you're searching. So if you're trying to find a niche, you don't have any ideas yet, then you would go into ZonGuru and use Niche Finder and set your filters and go through the process there and get ideas. And then you can take them directly to Amazon. Like if you have a product idea already and you want to see, is it selling on Amazon? Just go straight to whichever Amazon platform, pop it in the search, and then open the Chrome extension. And then that will give you all of that information on what the search volume is, how the sales are, and what the competition on page one is doing.
Yeah. Fred's just asked, should he do the branding before the product is on Amazon or after? You definitely want that done before your product goes live, because you want it to be consistent on your packaging. You want it to be consistent on your listing, wherever else that you're being seen in the marketplace. So you would do it as your product's being developed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean if you've already got a product and you haven't done it, doesn't mean it's too late. You can still do it. I mean, I actually had a rebranding this year. I didn't change my brand name, but I tweaked my colors and I redesigned my logo. My packaging ended up being okay. I just had to change out a little bit of the information, the logos on the packaging. So yeah, you can always, and that is not an uncommon thing. It does happen. You may tweak things as you go forward with your brand, and it evolves.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everybody. It's been so much fun. I wish you all the best holiday break. Hopefully we all get a little bit of a break, and maybe we can get stuck into that product research over that time. But it's been amazing to spend this time with you today. And for our regulars, it's always nice to see the familiar names. But I think, that's us signing off for 2021.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're saying that.
I know. It's so crazy.
Oh, so right. We will see you guys in 2022. How about that?
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye everybody. Happy holidays.